Hi Cancer, hope you guys doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for May 15th through the 22nd. Let's get right into things. So I'm going to be doing a general spread first for everybody, and then we'll break into relationship and then money/career. I'm going to timestamp for relationship and the money career part in the description box below, where you're also going to see a 15% off coupon for my Synastry reads for this week. And some of you might be going through a lot, might be experiencing a lot in your relationships right now because Pluto's in your 7th house of partnerships. And you have a lot of things going on in your 12th house. We're going to talk about the Sun in Gemini. Come May 20th, the Sun is going into Gemini in your 12th. You also have Venus conjunct the North Node in Gemini, which I actually think is going to bode very, very well for you as you really figure out what it is that you want in life. And this could also be a very strong indicator of you doing something within a career that's a very supportive role that ends up changing what it is that you see yourself doing down the road. I'm going to get into that more in a moment. For the Astro Dice, we have Taurus energy. Taurus rules the 2nd house of money and things that we value: our self-esteem, money, the roof over our head, the clothes on our back, the food on our table. Taurus is ruled by Venus. We have the 7th house. So yeah, like I just said, for this particular, right now you have Pluto in your 7th house. So 7th house, the landlord there is Libra, ruled by Venus. That's the house of partnership. So it's not only marriage partnerships, it's all contractual. So that could be a business partner, it could be a soul contract, somebody that you have a soul contract with. So that could even be a family member, okay? So we see there's this question of value in relationship. And then we have the Mars energy. So Mars happens to be in, right now for you guys, it's in your 1st house of self, because Mars is in Cancer. So you're going to be feeling this assertiveness, this willingness to open your mouth and get in touch with what it is that you want, need, and desire to feel very safe and secure in your life, as it's very important for you. Now Mars is that warrior energy. It's not that it's so aggressive. It's a fire energy, okay. It's this warrior energy, okay, but there's this beautiful intention behind Mars, which is about where do you see your life going? And are you on that right path? And if you're not, you're going to be pushed to really engage with that energy and say, all right, listen, we have to make some changes here in the relationships that we let ourselves get into, the financial situations, the job, whatever it is, you taking stock of how it is that you really feel. And you're doing this in a very deep and real and profound way. And Uranus being in your 11th house of goals and gains and friends and where it is you see yourself going, that 5-year plan, that 10-year plan, whatever it is, where is your life going? Uranus is in there, which is all about shocking surprises, things coming out of nowhere, and all about staying very future focused. So you may out of nowhere realize, you know what, I don't want to do what I'm doing anymore. I want to do this thing. Or because we have the Sun in Gemini for you guys this week on the 20th in your 12th house, and Venus, which is a very benefic energy, conjunct the North Node in Gemini. The North Node is all about destiny. So destiny is definitely a play here in your subconscious. Something is going to be happening to you. Now let's just talk about the 12th house for a second, because we also have Jupiter in Pisces. Pisces is the landlord of the 12th, and this is in your 9th house of your belief system. I hope I'm not going to lose you guys here, but the Libra point is on your IC right now. So what does that mean? That means that you are having a lot of changes in work, home, how you feel, what you need to feel very grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. Some of you might be moving. Some of you might be getting into a new line of work. Some of you might be getting into something new where your main focus is, all right, I'm going to be in this for a while now because I need to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. Now, on top of that, this 12th house energy is very behind the scenes, right? 12th house is the house of the hidden. It's the subconscious. It is the house of self-sabotaging behaviors where we can get in our own way. So just a little heads up there. But really, it's where we allow ourselves to dream, and it's behind the scenes. I always say the 12th house is sort of like, if we equate it to like Broadway, right? For those of you who know Broadway, or anything having to do with plays or anything like that, it's more like the stagehand energy and not the director. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. So there's something going on behind the scenes for you that's really beautiful right now. Now, this could be literally you guys being in a situation where you're being very supportive of somebody or a situation in your life right now, and it ends up being a blessing to you ultimately. So this could have to do with a job, a relationship, a friendship, something like that, where you're in this sort of supportive role where you might even feel like you're sort of sacrificing yourself for something, but you're meant to do this because it's going to transition you into another place. So that's just sort of like a general sort of holistic vibe of the energies. But let's get into these and see what come up. We'll pull some astro cards first with the dice, and then I'm going to do relationship and career separately. I'm going to timestamp in the description box where that 15% off coupon is still hanging out for the month of May for my Synastry reads, if you are interested in those. All right. Moon. Moon, feelings. I mean, that's your ruler, right? It's all about instinct. It's about instinct. It's about nurturing. What do you feel in your gut is the right thing for you? And you knowing that you need to feel comfortable in whatever it is that's going on. Very important for Cancer to feel comfortable. You don't feel comfortable, something's not going to go well, right? You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in you, new moon in Cancer. Yeah, again, it's all about safety, comfort, soothing. And you very might be, all this 12th house energy, you're going to be doing some really beautiful introspection. It's an energy. Now keep in mind too, that you have a couple of things going on here, okay? This 12th house energy works across the wheel from the 6th house. The 6th house and the 12th house work together, okay? To keep it simple, look at it that way. So the 12th house is your subconscious, and the 6th house is very much your conscious, every day-to-day experience, your day-to-day work experience. The 6th house is where we look at to see what's going on in your day-to-day work environment, who you work with and for, your day-to-day experience. It's also your health, mental, physical, emotional. So with this and all of the supportive energy in your 12th house, you're going to be nurtured and cultivated to do some beautiful therapy, some beautiful like shadow work, amazing kind of realizations in that way, realizing where you maybe need to make changes in your health habits, where you need to make changes in your work environment as well. Healing, beautiful. It's kind of like what I was just talking about, right? Beautiful. So we have Chiron as this great healer. So wherever we have Chiron in our chart, we've experienced a lot of pain, and now it's time to heal. It's time to look at a situation and say, okay, look at it very realistically, because Chiron likes when we do that. That's why it was so positive when Chiron was retrograde for us for, my gosh, from the summer all the way through to December. Was making us look back at stuff. So a lot of us might have been in that deep pensive state of reflection from the summer all the way through December. But this is about healing, right? Let's pull a few cards. Temperance. The World is the center. I like it. King of Pentacles. Okay, so whatever it is that you are involved in, whether it's a relationship, a financial situation, whatever it is, there is an energy involved that is sort of like, look, I'll give you the shirt off my back, but if you're looking to take what's mine, I'm not having it. That could be money. That could be personality, trying to change somebody. If somebody's trying to change you, or if somebody feels like you're trying to change them, it's not going to happen. If somebody is not very balanced as far as money goes, if you're involved in some sort of financial situation and they feel like you're asking too much, or you feel like you're not getting enough of what you're valued for, if you're in some sort of lawsuit situation, some sort of divorce settlement, some sort of inheritance situation, anything like that, it's like, well, wait a minute, you don't deserve that kind of thing, right? And you can be in that dealing with that energy, or you might be that energy right now, but it does look like the situation is going to be tempered, which is really nice. The temperance is it's about cooperation, really, moderation, reconciliation. There's a healing energy about this, right? So if this has to do with a relationship, this could be a new level of trust and patient cooperation could be had in a relationship after a really difficult time. If you're single, you might be very energetically or spiritually pulled towards somebody. Again, very pulled towards somebody, but somebody who, there's this idea of you're not willing to compromise who you are. Somebody else is not looking to be compromised. Like, so if you have a very strong belief system, Cancer, and I feel like you're going to right now, just because you have Jupiter and Pisces in that 9th house. So you're very in touch with your belief system, your religious beliefs, your personal philosophy, what it is that you want, need, and desire. If somebody's coming in and they're not honoring that, whether it's in a personal relationship, family connection, friendship, or anything to do with career or finances, you are not going to have it. I just don't see you having it. So there has to be this understanding there of, I want this to work, but I'm not willing to make it work at the expense of all else in my life. I'm not doing that. And there's going to be something very empowering about that for you. You're willing to be supportive. You're willing to do whatever is needed, but you want to make sure that you're not selling yourself out, that you're not. But you're not standing your ground here just like because. You're standing your ground here because you've been through a lot with the world energy. It's like, thank you very much, lesson learned. Now give me my gift. That's the world energy, because it's Saturn, right? So Saturn's saying with this world energy, Cancer, you've been through so much in that relationship, in that career, in that family situation, that friendship, whatever it is. You've been through so much, but now it's time to heal. And now it's time to draw a line in the sand so that you can get the gift that is really coming to you. Now, the fact that we have the moon, and the moon rules you, and then we get the new moon in Cancer, I think this is very, very serendipitous here. It's through your emotions and through you recognizing and honoring how you feel about something and what you believe in the deepest part of yourself. I mean deep. You're going to feel very comfortable to hold on to that and wear it proud and not tolerate anybody walking on you. You're just not going to allow it. I love it. This is so positive. Now let's see what comes up in relationship and career. We're going to start with relationship first. And let's see why, maybe we'll get some answers as to why you are feeling like this right now. All right. So let's start with the Healing Yourself Oracle for the relationship. Help from above, we'll take it. Beautiful. Somebody's got your back on the other side. Yeah, so look, I mean, you have this 1st house, 7th house sort of squaring off with each other, where it's like they're looking at each other and it's like, you first, no, you, kind of thing. It's Mars and Pluto. These are two very profound, powerful planets. Pluto's in your 7th, wanting change. Mars in Cancer, in your house of self, is looking to protect itself and not afraid to say what it needs. So it's like, this kind of thing. Let's pull one more of these and then we'll... Patience. Help from above and patience. Okay. It just fell out, but I feel like it wasn't meant to come out. Exchanging gifts. Here and now. Stay in the moment, stay in the moment, stay in the moment. Try not to rush or ruminate or anything like that about anything that's been going on. Patience, here and now. There's a lot of like, all right, everybody calm down a little bit. Which Pluto in the 7th can totally make us feel like that. Because remember, wherever there's Pluto or even Scorpio in our chart, things are not meant to be stable. They're not meant, because there's this need for transformation. There's this need for change. Change is hard no matter what. But I almost feel like, because the cards are telling you here and now and patience, you're getting help from above, allow something to sort of play out. There needs to be this allowance of let it just sort of play out and then see what happens. Ace of Cups, 10 of Wands. A new beginning is being challenged by the ending of something. And it's the ending, it's the idea that something's become too much, too challenging, to fill in the blank. Okay. Some of you might have been thinking about getting back with somebody from your past, or you might be in this space where it's like, oh, guess what? You know what? I'm really sick and tired of being mistreated in this relationship. And you being in this space where it's like, look, I want things to be remedied. I want there to be harmony. I want to find balance in this relationship. For those of you in relationship, some of you who are not in relationship, you might be thinking about somebody from the past coming into this energy, or maybe you did reconnect with somebody from your past. But there's this energy of overwhelm that's getting in the way here. Getting in the way, that sounds a little dramatic, but there's this, because this is the energy of overwhelm and feeling burdened and just being overwhelmed. Now, some of you might be in the space, though, of just not paying enough attention to your relationship right now because of other things going on in your life. You know, there's used to be so many things are going on that you might be either feeling neglected in the relationship, or you recognizing that you're neglecting the relationship. Some of you might be neglecting the idea of relationship altogether. Meaning you're kind of the mind where it's like, look, I'm not going to work at it. If it happens, it happens. But energetically, it's almost like, no, I don't, I'm scared, right? That sensibility is always like, all right, because I've been through a lot. So I'm really not fully willing to, full throttle, put myself out there right now. A lot of you may be feeling that way, where that's challenging something new from coming in. Now, for those of you who are in an existing relationship, this sense of overwhelm, possible neglect, is getting in the way of you guys feeling like you have a very strong, supportive, and loving relationship. So you might be in this space where you're questioning what you guys even have. For others of you, it might be, oh my God, we're just so busy. We don't even have time to focus on growing our relationship, or things are so up in the air right now. We can't move. We can't have a baby. We can't do anything like that, right? That could be the case for some of you who are in a relationship. Some of you, your energy really wants to experience, particularly if you're single, the spiritual growth. Allow this energy of creativity and something that really matters to you, right? Allowing it to sort of rise to the top and come to fruition. But you're allowing this idea of overwhelm, of distrust from the past kind of get in the way. And you can't blame you, but it does seem like it's this idea of overwhelm and just a lot getting in the way of a new beginning, regardless of what your situation is, whether you're single, you're coupled, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But we have the Nine of Swords here. And the Nine of Swords is another energy of overwhelm. It's anxiety, though. This one is, and what's wrong with you and what's going on, because it's a Mars in Gemini, and Mars is very concerned about where we're going, right? It's where we're going kind of thing. You're just not sure. You're not sure. You have a lot of questions in your mind right now. And it's creating a lot of anxiety, and you're not responding well to some sort of external stress because your way out of something is not entirely clear to you. And that could be a very uncomfortable energy, right? And the foundation, working opposite of that, is the Ace of Swords, which is stress, a mental block, and poor judgment. And the idea of dishonesty, it doesn't mean that you're being dishonest, that you might be, I don't know. It's a general message. But you have to be very honest with yourself about whatever's going on in relationship, about relationship, and how you're feeling. You have to be dead honest with yourself, Cancer. It's so important that if you're feeling anxiety and this sense of the shoes being on the wrong feet, this isn't the right thing, I don't know how to get out of this, I don't know how to undo this, maybe even being in a space of feeling like helpless, be more honest with yourself. No, you're not. If it's just that you simply don't want to leave something, and I know I'm going to get a lot of you coming after me for that, because sometimes it's just hard. I get it, That's what I'm getting here, though. So be super patient with yourself. Be very patient with yourself. Be very patient. If you're feeling a lot of anxiety because you're not meeting the right person, or it just seems like things fall apart because of this, that, and the other thing, And you're like, I don't understand. I'm like, perfect partner. You may be in many, many ways to you. Maybe you need to look at things a little differently. Okay? But it does seem like there's a lot of anxiety here and a lot of stress and tension. You might also be feeling very stressed out because you feel like somebody's lying to you and somebody's being very dishonest and you're not sure how to handle it, or some sort of situation in the past where somebody was very dishonest with you and you're trying to wrap your brain around it. An example of this is that kind of energy where you with somebody and they're like, I love you, you're the best thing that happened to me, blah, 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 and then boom, they break up with you. And all of the things that follow, you're sitting there going, were they just dishonest about everything? Did I ever really know them? Was anything about that real? It's a horrible feeling. And if you're feeling that, I'm really sorry. But I like that we get the Two of Wands here as you right now. Because right now, this is a new romantic partnership, maybe through work, through friends. Maybe you guys were friends and you're becoming more than that. This is a really nice energy. But there are two aspects to a situation that need to be figured out. So you might really like somebody, but there might be this thing where maybe you really like them, but they don't live here, or, a lot of long distance relationships these days, so that might resonate. Or there are two aspects of it. Maybe you're with somebody, but they're not fully divorced yet, or somebody's divorced, they want to be with you, but there are issues with money or their kids, or, all the different variants of something that can happen. But that's sort of like, there are two aspects of a situation that you need to figure out here. And one of them might have to do with the ability to grow in a situation, the ability to have children, because the Empress reverse has to do with, there could be some sort of financial and or domestic issues. So, right, so financial is what it is. Domestic could be, not being able to, this could indicate an issue with like an ex. This can indicate an issue with, the mother of, maybe the mother of your significant other's children, your children, there's some kind of disruptive stress that's going on here. This could be possible issues also with fertility or the ability to be able to grow something and move forward, in the relationship in some way. Now that's the external energy that's influencing you for you to be like, all right, what am I going to do? So that might be the issues of somebody that you're dealing with and you're like, all right, what do I do with that? Or that might just be the general energetic influence surrounding your situation. Well, you really want to move forward in something, but maybe you're worried about your children, or you're worried about money, or you're ready for a relationship, but maybe the other elements in your life aren't ready for you to be in relationship. You know what I mean? So we have this Ten of Pentacles as your challenge and block in reverse. So the Ten of Pentacles in reverse can indicate family conflicts, family issues. This could also indicate like a foreclosure on a home or something going on with the home. This could just straight up indicate loneliness. You might just be lonely right now, Cancer, as well. But yet you're scared. Like, you don't want to make mistakes again. You want something to go well. You might be lonely within a relationship as well, where you feel like you don't really belong in it anymore. With the Ace of Swords. I always call this the Ace. It's the Eight of Swords. It's just self-imposed limitations and feeling trapped and a lot of anxiety because you feel like, it's always going to be like things are never going to get better, And a lot of times we could feel like this in relationship where it's like, I've given everything, I've given so much, I've been very conscious, I've been very awake in this relationship, and yet things still feel off, or yet things still fell apart, and that kind of thing. But you feel like you just don't belong in a situation anymore, and you're going to need a lot of determination to pull yourself out, even if it means swallowing your pride. Now that can go for if you're single and you don't belong being single anymore. You're meant to be in a relationship. You have to really figure out where are your sticking points? What is the issue? Are you just attracting like silly energies to yourself, or is there just no one out there right now because of COVID and you're just not meeting anybody online that you really gel with, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like identify what the sticking point is, and then maybe just sort of here and now in patience, just kind of sit back and say, you know what, maybe I'm just going to take a time out now, let a little bit of time pass, let me focus on other things, and then go back to it. A lot of you can be understanding it like that. Others of you are realizing you don't belong in a relationship because it's not right for you. You're feeling like not very safe in it. So there's this element of confusion though, right? So we get the Two of Wands as where you're at now, and then we get the Two of Pentacles here, which is a great energy, right? But it's this need to negotiate something. You need to make a decision regarding more than one path because you feel a sense of lack. So if this is, you feel a sense of lack and being alone, opening yourself up to maybe different kind of people, different situations, different opportunities for you to meet somebody, right? This is between two people. This could be between two people. You have to figure out which one do you feel the least amount of lack with and the most amount of connection, and go with that one and put the other pentacle down. Some of you, one pentacle might be relationship, the other one might be I'm ready to be single. I'm ready to do it. But you have to make that decision, right? And it's about making that decision and not allowing yourself to get really overwhelmed in what's on the other side of it. Pretty nice. Painful, but you have to go through something. We have the Tower, so there's pulling down of some sort of foundation that you had, right? The Four of Wands really is that energy of energy connecting, right? Open hearts, expressing love, affection, all of that. Then we have the Tower. So this could have been you were married, it's the honeymoon energy or a marriage energy. But then it ends up falling apart, right? Where there's this need for a necessary surrender. And you realizing the truth of a situation. You realizing the motivations, or at least trying to figure out the psychological motivations behind the energy that you were dealing with. There's definitely this energy, something being over, right? And then we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Page of Pentacles in reverse, this can indicate having a lot of problems with children. Children having a problem with drugs, alcohol, issues in school, hard time accepting a relationship, right? It could be anything like that. For others of you, this could be where you just stopped feeling connected because somebody was just very immature. They weren't fully showing up in a relationship. You thought they were, but as it turns out, they were pretty immature. And they were also pretty dishonest. And you're realizing that now. Seven of Swords is dishonest energy. Really is. It's an immoral energy because there's this energy of running away. It's like the kind of thing where they break up with you out of nowhere and then they just run away. You know, it's not you, it's me. I have to go work on myself. What kind of nonsense is that, right? I mean, there's always something underlying there. But this person ended up being very selfish at the end of the day, or they may have overstepped boundaries or something like that, right? But you see through the truth of the situation. You see right through them. What I like here is the final outcome card. This is one of the best cards in the deck, especially the Wands. We love aces. Wands are will, motivation, and passion. So this is a very auspicious energy for a new beginning in a relationship. Really great energy for virility, family, just a new chapter of passion. Really beautiful. It's ace, so it's brand new. Something brand new coming in. Something brand new. Some of you with this Tower, I do want to say, because the Tower is Mars, right? And you have Mars in your first house right now. I'm thinking you might just be you might have had a Tower moment. You might be having a Tower moment or have a Tower moment when this week hits internally. And I won't be surprised because of all this 12th house energy that's going, all these blessings that are hitting your subconscious now, where you're just realizing things. You're realizing that you don't want to be the same anymore in relationships. Not in a bad way. In other words, not like, oh, I was always so giving and now I'm not going to be giving anymore, because Cancers are very giving in relationships. No, I'm not saying that. But you're realizing that you have to be a lot more discerning. You're realizing that. You don't mind being supportive and open and giving and all of that, but you can't, again, this idea of you can't sell yourself out for love. You can't do that. There's a big difference between compromise and being supportive and then being self-sacrificing. There's no need for that. Kisses. I don't know. I don't feel like that belongs there, to be honest with you, because the thing wasn't twin flames. Okay. Hammer, girl with the snake, coffee cup. So these messages may resonate as an extension of this, or it might be separate messages for somebody else. So we have the twin flame energy. We know what those are, complementing each other, right? Keys on a ring, many options. Stringing along, one night stand. So you might have thought you were twin flames with somebody. No, maybe you are. Maybe you guys are just in a very weird space, right? But it's like this stringing along element, not feeling very respected. Then we have hammer. Lots of sabotaging, persistent, repetitive behavior. Over and over again. Same thing over and over again, right? And that's being clarified by I like you, someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun flirting when a date. But this is interesting because I feel like you're very aware of where the repetitive nonsense happens in relationship, and you're getting more in touch with that now. Then we have girl with a snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable boundaries. And then we have love call. Someone expresses their love, a message of love comes in, thinking of you and letting you know. Meeting up, having a conversation, and saying, oh my gosh, I miss you, like let's make new memories. So it looks like somebody sort of, you're dealing with the dishonest energy, and then you hear from somebody or you find out from somebody else, oh, they miss you. But at the same time, I feel like there's another energy here. I feel like there's another energy here, but a past person, or even maybe somebody who's not so past yet, but not honest. Somebody who's not honest is still very much in your energy. It's like this other energy wants to come in. They want to get together with you, but so does this other person. I always get this feeling like you're very energetically drawn to somebody that you know is not good for you. But you have to ask yourself, Cancer, is it what you thought it was? If you're resonating with this as that. Was that relationship what you really thought it was? Are you holding on to the fantasy of what you thought it was because of what was presented to you? Because that's where the challenge is not feeling strong enough to release something that at the end of the day is just simply not meant for us. And it's this need to recognize that what you were in maybe was not as real as you thought, or it wasn't as real for them as it was for you because of stuff that they're going through and that they have to deal with. I know that's not easy to hear, but really understanding, was it really what you thought it was? Because it might not have been. And as tough as that is to hear, it's even more painful to hold on to something that's supposed to elude you in life because it's not meant for you. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason that you guys were together. You know? It's a tricky thing with that twin flame energy thing. A lot of people will stay in very difficult, challenging, unhealthy relationships because they firmly believe that this is the person that they're meant to be with. But, you know, soulmates and twin flames, they may just be in our life for reasons and seasons and not a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? That's where it gets a little tricky. A lot of people don't want to hear that. I know. I get so much hate when I say stuff like that, but that... I feel dishonest. I feel like it leads people in the very much the wrong direction by saying anything else. There's something called a red thread energy. Those of you who know that story, that's maybe more of what you want, right? The red thread is more about it's soulmate energy. The story is that when we're born, we have that invisible red thread. I've mentioned this a few times, wrapped around our ankle, and the other side of the thread is wrapped around somebody else's ankle, and it's part of our soul's purpose to find that person and learn lessons from each other and then end up together, right? That's a red thread energy. But the karmic, the twin flame, the soulmate, all of that stuff, it's kind of been bastardized in the light community. But if you really research it, it's somebody that we're meant to learn a lot of lessons with. So we have hole in the soul having to do with career. So you feel like something is just missing. Hole in the soul. So this can have to do with career, any sort of financial situation, contractual agreement where there's money involved. So it could be divorce, inheritance, insurance payout, buying a home, selling a home, your partner's money as well. Could anything having to do with money. But it's this feeling like something is missing, or maybe you're missing the mark or something like that. Co-create, I love it. That means you're getting together with people and working on something. Let's pull one more. Unfinished symphony. Okay. So, hole in the soul, unfinished symphony. So there's something that you're working on that you are not totally done with. Okay. So obviously this could be coming together to wrap something up. Any kind of like divorce settlement, all the different contractual situations that I mentioned. Obviously could also have to do with a business arrangement that you might have. So we have the justice energy coming into this from the recent past, which is justice energy is the 7th house. It's about lower courts. Okay, lower courts. It's also marriage, 7th house. So it's any sort of contractual agreement at all. And being focused on there being fairness in the situation, right? You might feel or experience or felt or experience like some sort of difficult or challenging situation where you felt like you were being tested. If it wasn't in your job, it could have to do with some sort of lawsuit or something like that. And this energy just means that things are going to go well and in your favor. Like any kind of negotiation, any kind of situation where there's a meeting of the minds needed, an interview even. If money's been an issue, things are set to improve for you. So really good. But it looks like there's some sort of working something out. There are other people involved here, some sort of situation. So somebody's ego might be an issue here. But we have the 6 of Wands working with it. So it's nothing that really good open communication can solve, which is, I like this. So, you might be dealing with tensions at work due to ego, tensions with that lawsuit due to somebody's ego, whatever the situation is. But empathy is going to go a long way through good communication that you're at least going to really try your damnedest to have. You know, in general, this is the kind of energy where, first of all, deserve success, especially if you've been struggling lately, some sort of acknowledgement at work. But it's through really good communication as well, okay? Things being shared, well received, all of that. We have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a nice energy here because this is about, it's kind of stepping into your power. This is good news about any project that requires, again, any negotiation. We have a lot of negotiation energies here. A very busy time at work or having to do with whatever financial situation you're involved in. And even though like the status or I always call it like the glitter or the glam of a job might not be as much as you'd like or as high as you would like or expect, it can still very much appeal to you in theory. Just, as I always say, make sure you read the fine print before signing anything, especially when Mercury is in pre-shadow. Mercury's going retrograde. So just watch out. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't or can't. Of course, life has to go on. That's silly. But just make sure you read the fine print. The thing with Mercury retrograde, like I always say, it's just that we may end up getting out of Mercury retrograde realizing, oh, I didn't realize this about this position, or I didn't realize this about this little loophole here, or you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. So it would behoove anyone who's signing anything during Mercury retrograde, do it. You have to live life, but make sure you definitely understand the fine print and the conditions and restrictions behind or around something. So we have the Queen of Pentacles as the foundation. So the Queen of Pentacles is a really good energy as far as you taking care of you right now. So this is very good energy if you're dealing with another person. Somebody is very reliable. You're very reliable right now. Very generous energy. So somebody could be helping you out. You could be helping somebody else out in order to grow a situation. Really nice energy here for sure. But what I like about this, it's like you are making sure that you feel good about something. You're working hard. You're very supportive right now, and you're helping somebody grow something. You're helping somebody finalize something. You might be working with a lawyer. You might be working with some colleagues, a boss, something where you're working on some sort of situation to bring it to fruition. We have the Seven of Pentacles as you right now. Yeah, this is you right now. Hard working. That's going to be paying off, and you being patient. You being very patient, right? We got patience before. Whatever situation you're in right now, don't give up, because you might be like, oh my God, this is like a lot. I don't know. Don't give up. You're almost there. Your future self is going to thank you. And the external energy that's influencing you right now or impacting you is the Ace of Swords. And this is very auspicious for new beginnings and decisions and clear thinking in work. This is bringing an immediate change to your circumstances for the better. So somebody might be offering you something here, Cancer. And the thing is here, you're very, very mentally agile. And your assertiveness is going to bring you success. And I like it because, again, having Mars in your first house, you're going to be assertive, not aggressive. Aggressive's not good. Assertive's very good, right? Now, what is your challenge in your block is the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is, and I'm kind of smiling because I don't think this is a real thing, but I think you're more worried about this, where you're worried about being able to manifest exactly what you want. And remember, guys, thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. The challenge here is feeling as connected to your own heart as you would like to feel, having to do with the situation. Now, cut yourself a break particularly if it's some kind of like divorce settlement, inheritance, any sort of insurance payout. You're not going to be with bells and whistles on that this thing is going in that direction, obviously. You wish that it didn't even have to be a thing. For others of you, you might just be afraid, oh, is this what I really want in the long term? I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not sure. We have the Knight of Wands energy here as the near future. So this is some sort of proposal, some sort of offer coming in, and then things speed up. Blocks being lifted, decisions coming in, right? And things that you've been waiting for moving forward. Okay, you might even be meeting somebody who's very creative and very innovative and really inspirational and motivating, right? Really friendly, very open, very fired up energy. Your ambitions may be very fired up right now to get something done. But we have the final outcome energy is Angel de la Nuit, which is basically like the dark night of the soul, and really looking at that. But the Angel de la Nuit energy is about looking at where you might get in the way. It's almost like looking at that 12th house energy, looking at your Black Moon Lilith. If you know that energy in your chart, it's about looking at these things that might get in your way and recognizing that there might be a need to settle a conflict either within yourself or with somebody else regarding some sort of financial situation. And we have Judgment. So Judgment is about acknowledgement for your success coming in and your finances improving. Three of Cups, very celebratory energy. We like this. This is abundance. This is abundance. This is healing. 3 is the number of creation as well. So you're definitely creating this next sort of stage in your life right now. We have the Moon. And this is, I feel like this is sort of speaking to the 9 of Cups in your challenge position as well. Because this can indicate that you achieve a goal, but you ultimately feel it wasn't really worth the effort. And emotions might run high at work. Emotions might run high regarding that legal situation, regarding money, whatever it is. Even though money matters might even be stable. But you want more than that. You want more satisfaction from the work that you're doing than just your paycheck. You want to really love what it is that you do, and kind of speaking to what we were saying before. And we have the Two of Pentacles, so you're going to be in a space where you're going to have choices, but you're going to need to decide which do you feel more connected to, which choice, which offer, which situation. Look at this beautiful final energy here that I pulled. I love it. Ten of Cups, family contentment, benefits of security, great time for just whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're working on, it finally coming together. So that's what we have for you, my friends. I love it. All right. Doesn't look like it's going to be easy. A little bit of a funny sort of path that you have to go here. But the home, the soul, I like, you're looking at that. What doesn't feel right? Something needs to be filled in me. This doesn't feel right to me. I have to look at that. And you making a decision based on that. All right, Cancer, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful in some way. You guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.